Hey guys, welcome to Manga Frenzy. Today I ask you, are you into manhwas where the main character is reborn? What about revenge manhwas? What if we talk about main characters who were reborn and then take revenge? Well, if you like that idea, then watch this video till the end as today we are going to discuss 10 manhwas where the main character is reborn to take revenge. Let's go! First up we have Tomb Raider King. One day, tomes started appearing all over the world. In these tomes were relics which gave users different abilities and powers. If something like that exists in the world, people are bound to go after these relics. That is how the world changed to one where having more relics meant more power, status, and prestige. And a new profession of raiding these tomes called Tomb Raider came into play. Our protagonist, Seo Joo Hyun, was an unfortunate man who worked his ass off for powerful people in this world. As he had the abilities which gave knowledge on relic, he was forced to slave off and continuously raid tombs, while his boss reaped all the benefits. During his last raid, when he was almost about to be killed by a monster, a crow flew to him, sending him back in time to just before when the first tomb appeared. Now, he will take revenge on his boss with the help of the vast knowledge on relics and future events. This manhwa has a mythical character from almost all parts of the world, from Egypt to India to Greece. One mythical revenge story it is. Next up is the Invincible Immortal. Our protagonist, Chen Go-un, was a poor orphan who used to steal pockets in order to survive. As he was skilled in that, he was taken into the Low Lives sect. As we can guess from the name, the sect is not a good one. He was used as a guinea pig to test out many different foul martial arts for over 30 years, and he got a new name, the Immortal Master, one of the most mysterious martial artists among the godly 12 stars, which was a group of elite masters. Even though he was called the Immortal Master, he was not actually immortal, and thanks to a lot of plotting going on in the background, he was made the scapegoat and became a public enemy. Just as he was killed, instead of dying, he was reborn 30 years in the past. But not as himself, he was reborn as a child of another one of the godly 12, which means that the him of the past is also somewhere out there in the world. We have two Chen Go-uns now. This manhwa is a story of how our protagonist grows up as this new person and unravels many mysteries from his previous life along the way. Can he find out who was it that plotted against him in the past? Can he prevent his old self from dying this time? Is he able to take revenge? Well, we'll have to read the manga to know that. Can't go on giving you spoilers, right? Let's move on to the next one. This manhwa is called Kill the Hero. This story takes place in a world with dungeons and monsters. So one day, suddenly, a lot of portals started opening up around the world, and different monsters started pouring out of them, destroying cities, killing people, throwing the entirety of humanity into chaos. Along these monsters, divine beings called Nimbus came along as well, and they granted some people a special power called authority. These people with authority could become players and destroy dungeons. But instead of helping save the world, these players started taking advantage of their power for themselves. Our main character, Woo Jin Kim, was an orphan who was on his own in a dog-eat-dog world even before the dungeons and shit came into picture. And he found little difference in this new world. He still could trust no one. At least that is what he thought until he met Se Jun Lee, the protector of the weak, the executioner of the holy light, the world's strongest player, and the leader of the Messiah Guild. Our protagonist became a die-hard fan of him. If it's them, we can save the world, is what he thought. But just when they were about to destroy the last dungeon, he was betrayed. The hero of the world wanted dungeons to be there to keep his authority and rule over the world. But we are talking about revenge manhwa, so the main character is obviously reborn in the past and will now try to kill the most powerful man in the world, who is also a hero, or that's what the world thinks at least. On number 7, we have Tales of Demons and Gods. I came across this manhwa when it only had 5 chapters, and that alone was enough to get me hooked. In a world where demons roam rampant, there exists a small place called Glory City, thought to be the only safe haven for mankind. Our protagonist suddenly wakes up in class to when he was a child, when he was actually supposed to be fighting against some demon beasts. We all know that knowledge is power, but this story shows exactly what that means. Neili was just a below average man with no talent, no family background. The only thing that was different was he had accumulated vast knowledge on a lot of things over his lifetime. Now we have a story of how Neili takes revenge on his foes and tries to protect his loved ones. The best thing about this manhwa is that there is no shortage of villains to take revenge on, and the way our protagonist deals with them is simply a pleasure to watch. Up next, we have the Scholar's Reincarnation. Though we have a main character who is reborn in this manhwa, it is not as revenge oriented as the others on the list, but nonetheless, it does have some revenge characteristics as well. Our main character is a godly martial artist whose hands are filled with the blood of his enemy. Just when he was in the process of finishing off his foes, a powerful old monk hits him with a suicide attack, forcefully making him reincarnate. Now that the protagonist is reborn, the readers watch him grow along with his new loving family, having a lot of adventure along the way. But that does not mean, as I said, there is no revenge. As the story progresses, our main character also crosses paths with his enemies from his past life, giving him ample number of chances to even things out. Wow, that's a lot of reading material. Let's move on to the next 5 on the list, with the 5th one being the rebirth of the 8-circled mage. Henry Morris, a legendary archmage, was the founding father of the empire. When the son of the emperor took the throne, he was executed on the pretext of leading a rebellion against the empire. He did not die, but was reincarnated in the body of another Henry Morris. This reincarnation was not due to God's will or something like that. It was just pure luck. So the thing is, the other Henry Morris was a sore loser, perceived as a trash even among his peers. And in desperation, he tried performing some weird ass necromancy magic and failed even in that, resulting in the soul of our Henry Morris replacing the soul in his body. Well, whatever, it's good fortune for a protagonist. Now the main character starts learning magic and also starts learning swordsmanship, which he did not in his past life, and will become the first magic swordsman so that he can take revenge on that filthy son of an emperor. Next up, we have SSS class Suicide Hunter. As we are talking about revenge manhwas where the main character is reborn, what if our main character is reborn again and again? How about that? That's what we have here. The story is set in a world where we have a giant tower. After its appearance, people started getting different skills. Our main character, who was living a shitty life, wants a skill as well. He wants the skill of the number 1 hunter, that is, the Flame Emperor at that time. Now, he is so envious of the hunter. One day, a notification pops up in front of him. The tower, who grants people skills, decided to throw a skill at him, due to his envious nature and all. The thing is, that skill is an S class skill. That means it's a top skill, which allows him to get one ability from the person who kills him. Now the catch is that if somebody is killing him, he dies. Yeah, he dies. The story becomes interesting when the skill is activated. He is somehow actually killed by the number 1 hunter of that time, the Flame Emperor, and is able to get a skill from him, which is also something related to death. So this skill sends the user back 24 hours in time upon death, keeping the memories intact. Now that is a skill set you need to become a perfect suicide hunter, if you ask me. Let's see if the protagonist is able to take revenge on the Flame Emperor for killing him ruthlessly like he did earlier. On number 3, we have the Chronicles of the Heavenly Demon. This manhwa is about the sole apprentice and successor of the Spear Master sect, who was framed alongside his master for learning some demonic techniques and was killed helplessly. Just as our main character is about to die, the artifact of the Spear Master sect shined, and there he was, reborn. He was reborn as number 900, a trainee in the demonic cult. If you want a manhwa with revenge as its primary focus, then this is one manhwa you cannot miss, as 900 now trains with a single motive in mind: revenge. The story follows our main character along his journey for vengeance as he takes over the demonic cult and punishes the hypocritic murderers of his former master. Next is the Great Mage returns after 4,000 years. The world is being secretly controlled by existences called demigods, the rulers and managers of chaos. Our protagonist, Lucas Stroman, is humanity's strongest mage with powers far exceeding those of normal humans, who is fighting against these demigods to bring peace to humanity. But alas, he gets trapped by the demigod and is tortured for 4,000 years, forced to doubt his own existence, break his spirit. On the other hand, we have Frey Blake, the Stain of the Blake House, the weakest man on earth, who is continuously being bullied and trampled upon. Even his own father refused to recognize his existence. Not able to take it anymore, Frey decides to take his own life. Just as he is dying, somehow his and Lucas' mind are connected. This weakens the seal on Lucas and he is able to free himself. Now, the strongest mage in history is back as Frey Blake, 4000 years in the future, ready to take revenge on and continue his fight against the evil demigods. A trash character converting into an overpowered, revenge-hungry mage. This is a story that I would like to read. On number 1, we have Magic Emperor. Rebirth? Check. Revenge? Always takes. Is the main character a nice person? No way. Magic Emperor is about Zhou Yifan, the Demon Emperor, who is in possession of the Book of Nine Secrets. Due to this, he was targeted by many experts across the continent, and in the end, he was betrayed by his very own student. But dying here is not the end. He was reborn in the body of Zhou Fan, a servant in the declining Luo family. Due to some demonic magic, he has to be loyal to the Luo family. The main selling point of this manhwa, in my opinion, is the ruthless nature of the protagonist. It's different from all the other manhwas, where the protagonist is a goody two shoes. Our man here is the gangsta. He's ruthless, evil, always uses any means to benefit himself and ensure his own survival, but somehow in the end still makes allies in the process. Well, so that was all for this video. Please hit the like button if you liked the video and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any updates. And if you want some specific recommendations on a specific topic, do let me know down in the comments below. Until next time.